Hey everyone, it's Sam here with another tutorial on Code Interpreter. Well, actually it's not called Code Interpreter anymore, it's called Advanced Data Analysis. So this is something I've done before. In previous posts, this one was at Customer Feelings in a Flash, where we looked at some dummy data that was made up with ChatGPT. And the dummy data was like, I tried to get it to mimic customer gauge data, which is like net promoter score data of tenants and landlords. Anyway, we went through this example here of how to get the sentiment analysis out, what to do with it, how to make your service better, and all the rest of it. So if you'd like to go back and check out that one, please do so. I have seen a lot of posts recently about this website. I'm not going to say the name because it's not like a lady to swear, but suffice to say, the USP for this website from a marketing perspective is pretty clear. It allows you as a tenant to go on and either review a property by state, and it allows you to review agencies or even landlords, as I understand. We're not discriminating between real estate agencies and landlords here. In fact, I wouldn't mind asking some questions about self-managed landlords compared to agents and what the data shows, and that's exactly what we are going to do today. So if you look at this website, they're just Google Sheets basically. And I get like why, like from a marketing point of view, like again, sitting on the other side of the fence, and I'm not here to debate rights or wrongs or like just consider me neutral, Janet, in this. I just really want to have a look at what the data says and what we can learn from it. Unfortunately, that's quite easy to do now. So if we have a look at this property database, you can go on there and see that it is a Google Sheet. And there's addresses and star ratings and things like that. And so it occurs to me you can actually go in and leave good ratings too if you wanted to. And I've got view-only access to the spreadsheet, but it's a Google Sheet, so I can download the comma-separated values, which I'm going to do. And then on the other hand, I am going to do the same thing for the agency database. I've got view-only access, but I can download the data. Oops, I don't want tab separated, I want comma separated. So let's download that. And now let's head over to ChatGPT, to a new ChatGPT window. So what I want to do is I want to do something very similar to what I did in this post with dummy data, but this time I'm going to use real data because feedback is a gift. And I mean, I'm a renter and I've worked with some excellent agencies. I've had some not so excellent experiences as a tenant, but you know, like we know that it takes all types to make a world. Again, I'm being neutral, Janet, here, and I'm interested in what the data tells me so that I can implement some growth strategies in my agency that are going to help us be better for our customers and be better than our competition. And I mean, this is, again, the one thing I am an advocate for right now is using these AI tools to your best advantage, because let's just say you could be an agent sitting there looking at this going, oh, look, don't pay any attention to that website because for whatever reason it's not validated, it's one-sided or whatever. I say that's a short-term view, because you can learn so much from data like this that you didn't have to collect. So the way that you would turn this on, I'll make sure it is turned on. And like I said, it used to be called Code Interpreter, but now it's called Advanced Data Analysis. So if you don't have it turned on at the moment, you'll go into Settings and Beta, whichever one you want to call it. Go to Beta Features and make sure that this Advanced Data Analysis thing is turned on. I think it works for GPT 3.5 as well as 4. And then what you want to do is you want to make sure that we are in advanced data analysis mode. And I think in 3.5, yeah, you can do it. You need to be on 4 by the looks of things. Okay, so without further ado, and you'll notice that the difference when it is turned on, like in default mode, I don't have a plus sign there, but in advanced data analysis mode, I do have a plus sign there. So I'm just going to go and attach those files that I downloaded. the comma separated ones. And yeah, for the moment, I'm just going to let ChatGPT know that I've got this data. Thank you for sharing the databases for your agency and properties before we proceed. Okay, all right. First of all, I need to clear up that it's not my agency or properties. It's some feedback collected from tenants who have some public feedback collected from tenants who have not had the happiest experiences with their agents or landlords. I'm going to say with some exceptions, because there were some high ratings in these databases, with some exceptions, and I want to find out what data says about what tenants really want. Now, this is just a bit of a starting point for us, so I'm just going to hit enter on that and just see what it comes back with. All right, thanks for clarifying. In that case, the objective is to perform an in-depth analysis to understand tenant grievances and preferences. This will involve data cleaning, descriptive analysis, and inferential analysis. So let's start by taking a look at the databases, shall we? Yes, I'm just going to say yes, thank you. Always say please and thank you to the robot. You just never know. So we'll just let this work. And again, for those of you playing along at home, what ChatGPT is doing there is it's actually creating Python code on the fly. Like, it's interpreting my natural language commands into code, and that's why it was called Code Interpreter. Okay, so next step, data cleaning, descriptive analysis, okay, inferential analysis. I don't imagine that there should be any data cleaning, but actually I think we might just say let's just move to part 2, the descriptive analysis. So I want to know what these tenants are saying so that I can learn from them. Okay, so it's finished working. All right, so we can see, as I said, there were some exceptions in that there were some 3, 4 and 5 star ratings, but on the whole, most of them are up here at the 1 to 1.5. So we've come up with some descriptive analysis. So the mean rating is approximately 1.41. The ratings ranges from 1 to 5. Most ratings are concentrated at the lower end. Well, again, I refer to the name of the website. So, okay, unfortunately the output for common complaints was truncated. Okay, so that means that we've filled up our memory window in ChatGPT. However, we can still make some initial observations. So both agencies and properties have low average ratings. The distribution skew is heavily skewed towards the lower end. Well, we know that. Actionable advice, address recurring issues, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I think if you speak to any of the really good property management leaders in the industry, they would all probably agree that these things are top of mind for them in their businesses. They're the things that people look at. Recurring issues, you don't want recurring issues because obviously they're a cost and an annoyance to your business. Transparency of communication is a huge one, and the other thing that I always remember from people like Jodie Stainton is regular maintenance. So the number one reason that landlords move agencies, landlords that is because of maintenance issues not being dealt with. So let's see what the inferential analysis comes up with. I'm just going to say yes, please, because it's already asked me very politely what I want to know. All right, so it's given me ratings by state. I was wondering what it was going to give me here. Lowest average rating, Northern Territory at 1.5. Highest average rating, ACT. I have been saying that lately. Some of the best agents are in the ACT. And we're going there for AI-powered agents next month, so that's pretty cool. Okay, properties, lowest average rating, Queensland. Horror face emoji, because it's where I live, and the highest average rating is in the ACT, again at 2.0. So I don't know that this really gives us anything mind-blowing to talk about here, other than, we could see, let's ask, can you give me, by state, the 1-star rating? Okay, and I imagine this is probably skewed towards, the 3 most popular states are obviously going to be over that side. Okay, there's notable geographic spread into satisfaction, actionable advice. Agencies and landlords in Victoria should conduct an urgent review to understand the root cause behind these ratings. So let's see if we can dig into the data a bit. So I want to know, what are the most common complaints about properties? Waiting. Okay, the output was again truncated. Okay, so that means again we've run out of memory space in our current window. But key takeaway: unaddressed repairs. The most commonly recurring issue is related to repairs not being addressed effectively by the landlord. This includes appliances with and hot water services. So yeah, again, like I think maintenance is just one of those things that you've got to be 100% on top of. I can delve into this deeper and then ask what type of repairs, so that we know, like, let's just say there might be a concentration of things, like, and do we need more trades in a particular area or something? So what type of repairs are we talking about here? I mean, it does occur to me too that this doesn't have to be any more difficult than this: proactive maintenance and clear communication. But based on the available data, the most frequently mentioned repair issues in one-star property ratings are appliances, cooktops and ovens, and hot water services. So, I mean, I guess we would do that. But like, you could go with ChatGPT and go, what are some extra things that you could have a look at? Like, how old are the ovens in various properties, and proactively bring that stuff up with your landlords. Another question I wouldn't mind asking is, are private landlords receiving better or worse reviews than agencies? Okie doke. So, all right, average ratings by landlord type. Okay, so we can see that we've got far more agency reviews than landlord reviews, but the average rating by the looks of things of a self-managed landlord is lower than an agency. So I don't know whether that looks like there's a quarter of private landlords versus agencies. But if I was an agent, I'd be actually looking at those private landlords, and, well, number one is probably nobody wants something on their rent roll where the landlord is not prepared to maintain the property correctly. But I guess if that's a pain point for that landlord, there might be a way through the forest for them to be a client for you. I mean, who knows why they've gotten to the place that they're at where their tenant is so dissatisfied with them that, you know, that's again not for me to judge. So, actionable advice. Private landlords should consider adopting some of the procedures by agencies. Well, yeah, you would think so. And agencies should continue to maintain standards. Would you like to explore to more insights? So I'm going to say more insights. And okay, so what I want to know is more insights, please. And a question like this: is the dissatisfaction mostly financial, like rental, bond, or operational, being maintenance and communication? So let's see what ChatGPT comes up with on the data there. All right. My questions are too difficult. Okay. This is where we need to have a high AQ. Okay, so proceed with this manual inspection. Yes, please. Okay. All right. Maybe because it's like 4:30 in the afternoon and ChatGPT's had a long day. All right. So, slight edge to financial issues. Financial concerns like rent, bond and fees are slightly more often than operational issues. Operational concerns are close behind. Actionable advice. All right, so I'm just going to say, so give it to me straight. Based on the data, let's give it some context first. Based on the data, what are the top 10 tenant grievances and how might I fix them? Certainly, let's get straight to the point. Okay, so here we go with the top 10 tenant grievances and how to fix them. I think, like, again, if you wanted to, like, when you're doing the appraisal with the landlord, I reckon this one, like, is, or this one even, like, they're your number one. Like, most landlords I know, and I mean, we have an investment property too. I wouldn't like to think of someone in my property like not being able to cook or not having a hot shower or something like that. But I guess we could dig deeper into those and find out more about them. By addressing these grievances, you'll be better positioned to improve tenant satisfaction and potentially your ratings as well. Would you like further clarification? No, I think what I'd like to end this video on a positive note, because look, there's a lot of interesting things you can gather out of this. I mean, the purpose of this video is to have a look and analyze this real data with ChatGPT. And so I guess I would like to know, for the agencies that got high ratings, what were some of the things they did right? Okay, so here we go. What did the agencies do right? Prompt maintenance, excellent communication, reasonable rent, professionalism, and flexibility. That's an interesting one. Willing to stand up for tenants when landlords are not willing to make repairs. Highly rated agencies tend to excel in areas where others fall short, specifically in maintenance, communication, and fairness in financial dealings. So I think we could go on with this forever. But yeah, I guess what I'm trying to do here is the whole idea of being sort of named on one of these websites, or the fear of a bad Google review or something like that, it's real. Nobody wants to be not liked or anything like that, but being able to learn from these experiences to be able to fix things. Like, if you're not aware of these things, then you can't fix them. And so I think websites like this and stuff, as hard as it might be, I think you've just got to approach them with a sense of curiosity and see if you can find out what you can learn from them. Use the AI tools, and it will give you a definite edge on your competition. So I hope looking at this in this way has been useful, and I'll see you in the next video.